Shoutouts to Moopy for the Shadowhunter gameplay. I don't think I have a video covering Patron specifically, but I'll just go into that in this video just so we don't have to do that later. But pretty much, Patron is a pretty important tool. You could say it's like a pay-to-win thing, but there's also free-to-play plays to get it. And before I even continue the video, I will say in November, it's like the Black Friday thing. I think they call it Block Friday or something like that. It's sometime in November. I don't know the exact day that it happens, but they pretty much give you like a massive sale on Patron. And that sale is usually like 50% off or like 30% off. I don't know the exact percentage, but they take a lot of it off so you can actually buy it if you wanted to take that route. And that's just like, you can get Patron for a whole year type thing. So if you plan on playing Trove in the long term and you enjoy the game and you want to continue playing it like going forward and stuff like that, I'd say you can maybe look into that. Plus we're approaching November, so maybe something to consider if you want to do it. I'm not like saying to go out and do it, but if you're just playing Trove casually, you're just kind of playing at your own time, then maybe don't go for it, because obviously I would want you guys to get your money's worth of the Patron. And if you don't know, Patron speeds things up a lot. So you get more qubits when you're doing your star bars. You get a little bit more Dragonites, so you can use that for your primordial dragons, for getting the dragon eggs, things like that. And then you just get more extra things on the bonus days. So from Sunday all the way until the next Sunday, just like all those daily bonuses. So you can imagine you can farm a lot of dragon coins that way. You can farm a lot more shadow shards, more crystals. You can even gather more ore on the Tuesdays. There's a lot of things to go over here with Patron. And I think we can all agree that it's very good. And there's a free-to-play way. Is that the right wording? Free-to-play way? There's a free way right outside my house. There's the option for credit pouches on the market. So if you do have flux and you're capable of making flux, you can get those credit pouches on the market. If you're on console, I do apologize because they're pretty expensive. On PC, it's a little bit better. And then on Switch, I think it should be pretty good on there. But what I'm trying to say is though, if you get those credit pouches on the marketplace, they're 250 credits. It's not a lot, but at least it gives you something. And you can go to the store and you can get the Patron. It's 15 days, untradeable. It just goes straight onto your account. I believe it was 750 credits. And back in the day, the old strategy used to be you would farm topside and just loot collect the stellars for like pretty much like for a good day or something like that. And with like high magic find and stuff, you'd easily be able to make up for the flux to get the pouches to get your Patron for the following week, so you'd be all set up and ready to go. That was when credit pouches were like 200k though, so that might not be the most efficient way of doing it, but if you're capable of making flux, then that's something to consider. Now that we got that topic out of the way of like what Patron is, when to get it and all that stuff, now let's talk about when to use it. So we have a few different options for Patron. We have like the 1 day, the 3 day, 15 days, whatever you end up having. I think they still have the tradable 1 day Patron passes on the marketplace. And from there, it pretty much just comes down to what you need the most. Now, I'm not in your guys' position, so I don't really know exactly what you need. Because like dragons, obviously that's pretty important, so you'd want to do that. But while it's Dragon Day, you can use the opportunity for your qubits. And speaking of qubits, if you were to use this Patron, so like say it's a 1 day of Patron, or maybe, I don't know, a 3 day of Patron or something like that, I'd highly recommend using it on double Star Bar week. You're gonna get double the amount of qubits, double the amount of Dragonites, I guess the flux too, but it's not that much. Unfortunately though, it does appear only like once a month, so you'd have to wait until that week rolls around. So if you cannot wait, then I guess you could use it and just use it on the following day specifically that you need it. But if you are willing to wait, I'd highly recommend it for that, and then you can find a time and place to use it. So let's just say, I don't know, for example, you have a 15-day Patron pass. It's gonna last you 2 weeks. I would recommend you could use that either the week before the double star bar rolls around, or you can use it on the week of the double star bar, as long as the double star bar is there. Because it's gonna last you 2 weeks, you're gonna make the full rotation for the double, and then on top of that, you'll have the additional week for whatever you want to farm. And as for the other ones, the 1 day and all that stuff, you can figure out when the double star bar thing will appear, and once you do, you can find the day where you need to farm something specific. So if you're gonna shadow shard farm, for example, you can use it on Monday. But one big tip that I want to give, while you're using Patron, it lasts 24 hours. So let's just say hypothetically you wanted to only farm, I don't know, maybe like 2 hours on Monday. You can pick a time on Monday where you can farm those 2 hours, and then see if you can calculate like 24 hours into the future. Do you think the time you're giving yourself would be enough to farm the following day as well? Because even though it's a 1 day of Patron pass, it's 24 hours. So you can utilize 2 different bonuses with that 1 day of Patron. And that would apply to the 3 day and the 15 day as well, but you guys get the point. I'm not in your guys' position to really know what you exactly need, because everybody's at a different stage in the game, so I don't really know. There's a lot of good bonuses out there, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Those are really good ones. Friday, really good one. Saturday for XP, but I guess for Patron, if you're trying to farm something specific, you can sacrifice that and not use it on Saturdays. So what I would say is try not to use it on Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I know XP is important and all that, and the other days could be kind of helpful, but in my opinion, the other days are a little bit better. It's like Tuesdays, you can make flux when you're farming ore, or you can just gather extra ore, and you just get, I don't know, additional resources is just better. Mondays, gathering the crystals, the shadow shards, all that stuff. Super helpful. Fridays, obviously the dragon coins, and then Wednesdays with the gem boxes, so you can definitely make use of the gems. So, I don't know, let's just say on Tuesday, for example, you wanted to farm a little bit of ore, maybe a couple hours, and then you can use the rest of your patron hours to farm a ton of gem boxes. So if you're in the time zone of where you're closer to reset, for example, where you can play a little bit on Tuesday and then a bunch on Wednesday, for example, then maybe you can utilize your patron in that way. Or if you don't care about that stuff, you want to go for dragons, then you can strictly use it for Fridays. And then from there, you can decide if you want to lean a little bit more towards the Thursday or the Saturday bonus. Thursday giving you a little bit more adventurine, whereas Saturday you would get the XP, so you can kind of pick and choose which one you would need at that given moment. I do apologize that I can't tell you the exact path for this, because a lot of it just depends on what you need. And if you're super brand new to the game, you're probably going to need everything. But the biggest thing for you guys that are brand new is going to be gems. And you will be wanting to farm a lot of gem boxes, stellar gems specifically. So farming in D12 or even D13 if you're able to get that far up and solo it. But I think you guys get the point from here. Patron is just a super valuable tool. And if you do plan on playing it, make sure you plan out the exact hours of when you want to play and use it. And if you are just going to play casually, you can kind of collect these 1 day, 3 day patron passes. You'll get them kind of passively from events or maybe Twitch drops or anything like that. So you can just hold on to them. It's been so long. I can't remember if the 15-day patron pass from the store is just like a consumable that goes into your inventory or if it gets automatically applied to your character at that given moment. Oh, one big thing I forgot to mention is when you apply patron, make sure you either swap worlds or relog. If you press C on your character sheet, you should see this little icon and that'll let you know if you have it or not. And yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about for this video. If there's something I missed or something important that you guys feel like should be talked about, feel free to drop that in the comments down below. It could help out somebody new. But either way, thank you all so much for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys later.